Hello, everyone. Welcome back to AWZ News. Today we have an incredibly intriguing topic to discuss. Our very own Voyager 1 spacecraft, which has been journeying through the cosmos for over 4 decades, has just sent a message that has left scientists puzzled. Stick around as we dive into the details and try to decipher the mysterious communication from an unknown star. But before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for more fascinating content. For those who may not be familiar, Voyager 1 is a spacecraft launched by NASA in 1977 with the mission of exploring the outer reaches of our solar system. It has provided us with invaluable information about Jupiter, Saturn, and beyond, and it's currently over 14 billion miles away from Earth. Recently, it has caught the attention of scientists once again with an unexpected signal from an unknown star. Although Voyager 1 has witnessed the universe like never before, providing data and observation for countless discoveries, the scientists working on the project had no idea how long this mission would last when it was launched by NASA in 1977. They also had no idea that this small spacecraft would become one of the most remarkable and fascinating achievements in human space exploration, marking an era in the collective imagination and inspiring future generations. Nothing was ready for the recent communication it got from a nearby star, which made Voyager 1 the first spacecraft utilized by a celestial body to speak with Earthlings. Let's investigate. In order to study Jupiter and Saturn, with special attention to the Titan satellite and its magnetic fields and rings, and to take pictures of the corresponding natural satellites, Voyager 1 was launched as part of the Voyager program, which involved designing and building 2 identical probes. However, Voyager 1 was created first, and Voyager 2 launched 1 month earlier. As a result, the probe traveled in space for 2.5 years after launch to reach Jupiter, where it started its odyssey of discoveries. On March 5, 1979, the probe passed the gas giant and carried on taking pictures of it until April. Later, Voyager took over and the 2 probes together made several discoveries about Jupiter and its moons. Voyager 1 helped scientists learn about Jupiter's intricate moon system and found 4 of its largest moons. Io Europa, Callisto, and Ganem. One of its observations resulted in the amazing discovery of sulfur volcanoes on Io, a feature that had never been observed on the planet from Earth. In fact, Pioneer 10 and Pioneer 11 had missed it too. The images of Io left the scientific community in disbelief. They discovered a plume, a volcanic eruption, in one of the images of Io, completely contradicting their expectations of a dull and frozen ball of rock and ice for hot magma to occur on a celestial body that is almost 500 million miles away from the sun's warmth. The explanation that scientists arrived at was that Jupiter has an intense gravitational pull that tugs and grinds the rock of Io, creating vast lakes and channels of liquid hot magma and volcanoes that erupt from the moon. According to data from Voyager 1, Io is the solar system's most volcanically active body. Following the thrilling Jupiter voyage, Voyager 1 also found that the planet had strong magnetic fields and extensive radiation belts, which posed a special challenge for any spacecraft attempting to approach too closely. Voyager 1 proceeded in the direction of Saturn, where it made even more incredible discoveries. At its closest point to Saturn, on November 12, 1980, the probe was just 120,000 kilometers away from the planet when it was found to have hundreds of rings, each composed of thousands of tiny particles. By measuring a moon's physical attributes using a remote sensing method known as radioscience occultation, Voyager 1 conducted extensive research on Saturn, particularly Titan. This instrument allowed scientists to determine the planet's surface's density profile, composition, pressure, and temperature. When the data began to come in, a frenzy broke out at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, JPL Building 264, where all the scientific teams were assembled for the 2-week flybys. The first set of data suggested that liquid nitrogen might exist on Titan's surface, but the science team later revised their interpretation, concluding that Titan might instead contain liquid methane because Voyager 1 was unable to see through Titan's thick atmosphere, leaving them with no choice but to observe the orange haze surrounding Titan and speculate as to what might be there. Their assessment was confirmed to be accurate. When the Cassini spacecraft touched down on Titan's surface 2 decades later, the HENS probe Did you know that Cassini's confirmation of Titan's hydrocarbon lakes and rivers, which are primarily composed of methane and ethane, opens the door to the possibility of life existing in these icy waters. Who knows what Dragonfly, the upcoming spacecraft scheduled to launch in June 2027, will discover about Titan's surface. Now 24 billion kilometers away, or roughly 1.5 times the distance between the Sun and Pluto, Voyager 1 is exploring uncharted territory that science never thought would be conceivable. Despite the terrible circumstances in interstellar space, where cosmic rays and radiation regularly batter its equipment, the probe has managed to survive for more than 40 years without experiencing any major malfunctions. As Voyager 1 continues to travel the furthest in space that any human craft has ever gone, it continues to provide fascinating data about cosmic rays, magnetic fields, and other remarkable features of the interstellar medium. Everything was going smoothly until one day Voyager 1 sent an unusual signal to Earth that left scientists perplexed. Because Voyager 1 is now so far away from Earth, it takes 22 hours for a signal to reach Earth, which causes a significant delay in communication between the probe and the team monitoring its operations. Suddenly, one day, Voyager 1 sent data that made no sense to the scientists on the other friend who were waiting to see precise data clarifying what Voyager 1's thrusters were doing and what the probe's orientation was. Believed that the spacecraft was headed in a new direction, but it was unsure of what to make of the lengthy sequences of zeros and 377s it was getting from Voyager 1. The probe's antenna was pointed home as it always has, but since scientists were receiving data here on Earth, how could Voyager 1 really be pointing toward the data it was claiming? What was even more confusing was the strength of the signals, which remained constant, providing further proof that the probe hadn't changed direction. So why did Voyager 1 suddenly go crazy as soon as it received this signal? The team checked the probe's science data, and sure enough, everything appeared normal. Voyager 1 started its journey with 11 pieces of scientific equipment, 5 of which had to be shut down and 2 of which had stopped working due to general degradation. The team here checked the probe's power supply, which looked pretty low, but that's expected as Voyager 1 had been traveling for much longer than anyone had planned. After checking everything, the team realized that there was just one system that was behaving strangely: the AX, the Attitude Articulation and Control System. The AX is a computer that is part of Voyager 1. Its job is to make sure the spacecraft's large 3M antenna continues to point towards Earth, but suddenly the computer started sending incoherent signals, and NASA's team wasn't sure what was going on with the probe. The spacecraft comes equipped with emergency safe mode settings, which is alerted when any of the equipment starts behaving abnormally. When the system detects a problem, it powers down temporarily. This allows the team back on Earth some time to figure out how to deal with the problem and fix it before powering the probe back up. But this time, the safe mode settings didn't take over because Voyager 1 thought all its equipment was functioning normally. Why do you think the probe malfunctioned suddenly? Could this be the work of an alien civilization that is trying to communicate with humans on Earth? Here's something you probably didn't know about Voyager 1. It carries with it a golden disk that contains information about the human race, from images of human biology to the sounds of nature, symphonies of mathematics and music. After 4 months of probing and testing, the team of scientists and engineers decided to switch to a backup system so Voyager 1 could start using a new computer because, after all, This wouldn't be the first time the probe switched to another AX computer after the first one became redundant. However, it turned out that Voyager 1 had actually suddenly reverted to the old computer and was sending corrupted data. The solution seemed fairly simple. All they needed to do was command the probe to use the correct computer once more. The question of why the probe abruptly changed systems and whether we actually received a signal from a nearby star or if the Voyager 1 is an outdated ship set to become obsolete still needs to be answered. In conclusion, Voyager 1's recent message from an unknown star has thrust us into a realm of cosmic uncertainty. As scientists work diligently to unravel the mystery, we can only marvel at the vastness of the universe and the potential for discovery that lies beyond our current understanding. That's all for now, people. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to hit the like button. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel and click the notification button. Click to see more exciting space videos.